I want to show you how I made over $100,000 in less than 5 months on one house using this and using other people's. And if I can do it, so can you, and I'll prove it. It is not as hard to find good deals like this if you use the right method, which I'm going to show you later. This is something that most people don't know about. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we found this property, how we negotiated it, what we projected to make compared to what we actually made, some before and after pictures, which is obviously super cool. There are 5 main ways to invest in real estate. If you want to see me deep dive into these, then hit the subscribe and notification button, and you will get notification when I film my next video, which is going to deep dive into the 5 ways to invest in real estate. So right now I'm going to touch the surface on the ways that we invest in real estate and what we did on this one deal. First method is rentals. This method has been around forever, and that's basically when you buy a property, rent it out for cash flow. This is a great way to build cash flow, build some equity, and some long-term wealth. Think about it. If you were to buy one rental property each year for the next 20 years, you could have a free and clear property every single year thereafter. Imagine this, hundreds of thousands of dollars in property paid off each and every year after 20 years. While we've made over $100,000 on rentals, that's not quite what we did on this one. Next is BRRRR. Sounds downright cold, right? Well, BRRRR stands for buy, rehab, refinance, and repeat. This is basically taking a fixer-upper, making it a rental, and refinancing it so that you can get all of your money back. This is awesome because you have tens of thousands of dollars in equity after refinancing it, and you can use the after repair value to determine the loan that you get. So with this method, if you buy the property right, you should get every single dollar back that you spend. So let me give you an example. Let's say you buy a property for $50,000. You put $40,000 into it, which means you have $90,000 invested, and it appraises for $120,000. If you can go to your bank and get an 80% loan, that comes out to $120,000 times 80% is $96,000. Remember I said that you put $90,000 into this house? That gives you $6,000 back to pay maybe some closing costs, some interest and things of that nature, which means that you have little, potentially even no money out of your pocket. And you have $24,000 in equity. I've actually bought properties really cheap and gotten $30,000 tax-free back from this method. So what I love is you have little invested, you have good equity, and hopefully you have decent cash flow. That right there is the BRRRR method. But that's not what we did on this one. Number 3 is wholesaling. Wholesaling is when you find a property discount and you sell it to another investor that's going to rehab the property. And you keep the difference between what you buy it for and what you sell it for. So if you contract a house for, let's say, $50,000 and you find a buyer that's willing to pay you $80,000, that means you made $30,000 without having to work on the project. Pretty sweet, right? But that's not what we did on this one. Number 4 is private lending. If you've got some money sitting around and you want to invest it in projects, this is the way to go. Private lending is when you invest in someone else's property and in return, you get a fixed rate. You're basically the bank. You usually get paid between 7% and 12%, and sometimes even more if you find an inexperienced investor that's willing to pay a higher rate. So why would someone pay such a high rate? It is so much easier to do deals with private lenders rather than banks. So investors are willing to pay more money. So investors are willing to pay more interest. Out of over 1,000 properties that I bought, almost all of them, I've used private lenders to do it. It makes it really fast and easy. And it actually allows us to buy properties cheaper and allows us to buy more properties. Right now, I have about a dozen people that I can call at any time and get money within a couple days. That means I don't have to put a property under contract and search for the money. I know the money's there. But private lending is not what we did on this project. So number 5, the traditional fix and flip method. That is when you buy a property at a discount, you fix it up and you sell it for a nice profit to someone that plans on living in it. You know, like you see on HGTV. And that is what we did with this property. Now that I've shown you different ways to invest in real estate, and again, I'm going to do a deep dive on these in another video. So those are the types of ways that we invest in real estate and most people invest in real estate. So watch out for that video where we're going to deep dive into those methods. So before we look at numbers and we look at pictures, let's talk about how we found this property. We do a lot of marketing to find properties like this. The traditional methods that most people think about are postcards and direct mail, Facebook ads, Google ads, texting and cold calling. But you know what? My favorite methods are when people call us. So the great thing about it is when they are asking you to do business with you instead of the other way around, it makes it a lot easier to negotiate and a lot easier to do business. And the main method where people are calling us and asking us to do business is TV commercials. So I want to take a moment to share with you 10X TV. It is the buzz in the real estate investing world right now. And guess what? I was one of the first to do TV commercials over a decade ago. If you want high quality, motivated seller leads that are asking you to do business with you instead of you reaching out to them, go to remtv.com and we will show you our TV launch formula. We have the shows and stations that we know work. We have the scripts that we know work. We've basically taken the formula that I've created over the last decade plus that I've been doing TV commercials, and we are now plugging it in for over 100 real estate investors around the country. And if you want to be one of those as well, reach out to us. remtv.com. If you want to 10x your marketing, go and apply and see if we have a spot in your market. Now back to the video. So this one was pretty easy to negotiate because when someone calls us from our commercials, they assume we are a credible company and usually we are the only one that they call. So like most people that call us, the property needed a lot of work and they were just wanting to sell it quickly. They know because we can close quick and with cash and don't ask for repairs, and they're willing to sell us the property at a deep discount. So here is what the property looked like beforehand. It was really outdated and needing some love. We went actually above and beyond in this house. So talk about HGTV. We made this HGTV style. Because it was on acreage, I knew it was going to be desirable and we could get a premium for this property if it was done right. So the kitchen was a little bit closed off. Anytime we buy a property, we love opening up the kitchen. That really makes it feel more open. That makes it feel more modern, and people just like that. We actually didn't plan to do this much work to the property. We decided to put an extra $20,000 into this property, which we'll go through the numbers here in a minute. And we feel like we got probably $50,000 more than we had we not done that. A lot of the properties we buy have carpet in it, and we typically try to do hardwood floors or hard surfaces in the main areas in the bathroom, and then we do carpet in the bedrooms. That saves a little bit of money, and actually people like carpet in the bedrooms because it feels warmer and cozier. Unless you're in San Diego, of course, most people like hardwood floors. It's really not that expensive to gut the bathrooms out, so that's typically what we do, and we put really nice finishes in. So for about $3,000 to $5,000, we can remodel a small bathroom. As you can see, we did a nice coat of paint on the inside and on the outside. We did a little bit of landscaping. We even put a nice slider door on the back to put a nice little touch, because that was one of the focal points when you walked into the house. So we bought this property for $200,000. We originally thought we'd put $45,000 in renovations. There are some costs associated with buying, holding, and selling the house. But if we sold this property at our projected number of $349,900, we would make about $52,000. Not bad, right? But here's what actually happened. We bought this property for $200,000. The seller originally wanted, I think, $250,000 or $280,000. So my team did a great job of negotiating. And instead of $45,000, we ended up putting $65,000 in renovations into this property. And because we did such a good job, instead of listing it for $350,000, we listed it for $400,000, and we got our asking price, which made us a grand total of $103,066.62. And we did all of this in less than 5 months. This is why they say the wealthiest get rich in real estate. Where else can you make over $100,000 in less than 5 months? So this is a quick rundown of a property we bought recently. If you want to see more of these videos on more deals we do, smash the subscribe, notification, and like button to be notified of future videos that we do like this. Not only am I going to show you properties we do, but I'm going to show you behind the scenes of what we do in our real estate investing business, how I manage my time, the trips that I go on, where I fly to, and a lot of other amazing things.